Alright, we're in Punta Gorda, Florida. We're going to be flying to Asheville. It's not a long flight. I think it may be right at an hour. And but this is my way to go back to. Now, I had loaded XPlane 12.3, moved away from it when it was like throwing up all over AutoOrtho and SimHeaven. I know it's a beta. I get it. It's a beta. But I have moved back over to 12.3. I no longer use AutoOrtho. I'm not using SimHeaven. We're using Traffic Global.
Good afternoon, American
So far, so
231.
good.
Looking at pickup IFR to
And we're using Say Intentions to take care of our ATC for this flight. So we're on Allegiant Virtual Airlines on this flight.
Climb to 4,000. Departure on 12705 squawk 3472 for American 231.
We're in a 737-800 for this flight. I already have the APU started. Get some lights up here. Weather, if you see the weather, we might have some rain on the way up. So cool for us. We're going to go ahead and load our RS position and load our flight plan. I think I just messed up there. Hold on, let me do that again. Okay, we're going to activate and execute. We're going to put our departure info, which I think should already be in there, but we're going to be flying out on runway 04. And we don't have any departures for this. Any to select, whatever. And our arrival is going to be coming in on KAVL on runway 35. So we're going to go ahead and put Rogan in here. So once we take off, we'll be lining up with Rogan for the first waypoint. On the Zibo, you go to the airside services, and we're going to load our OFP flight plan, and we're going to activate that, and stuff's going to start happening outside.
Order clearance, Allegiant 559er is ready for IFR clearance to Grand Rapids with X-ray ready to copy. I'm working on that clearance. Stand by.
No, they took Tracer from me.
Order ground, Allegiant 559er is ready for push and start.
QNH is Punta Gorda ground. Advise QNH.
Allegiant 253, Punta Gorda ground, go ahead.
Advise QNH, please.
Allegiant 253, Punta Gorda altimeter setting is 29.93.
Weird, I had a word anomaly there. And we've gone to put 293 in there. On the flight plan, I can't find my QNH. It's probably, well, I know where to find it, but I couldn't find it there. It's weird. Alright, we put this down here so we can have a load of passengers that should become, we should see buses coming up to load our passengers. There we go. You hear them?
Ground to flight deck, fuel is all loaded up and you are good to go.
And our reserve fuels, by the way, is 3.6. And then we'll load the rest of our settings. And one limit.
Ortho clearance delivery. This is Boca 1, Cirrus SR22 with General Aviation. Request VFR with flight following to Miami at 10,200 feet with information mic.
That is a weird setting. So our flaps are set for
at or below 10,200 feet. Departure
10.
on 127.05 squawk 2352 Boca 1. To ground, Boca 1, ready to taxi to the active runway for departure to Miami with information mic.
So flaps are going to be set to 10 on takeoff. That's kind of, it's the first time I've talked of all the flights I've taken. I've never had a flight 10 or my flight plan that said 10. Okay. First time for everything. Okay, so our center of gravity, fuel balance. Center of gravity is takeoff, or it's 27. And our trim should be 3.5, so basically that's as far as it can go. We go to the next page and get our runway winds, which will be 006 at 0, so basically 0 at 0. Try 006 and put 0. Well, let's take that. Well, what if I put 006 and 1? We'll just put 1 knot. Okay, there we took. Okay. And our flex temp is 36. Okay, we're going to go in here to load our settings, which will be V1 is 141, rotate is 142, and V2 is 149. Brian, you're in charge of all comms.
I'll handle the comms from here.
Brian, get our clearance. Get our clearance. IFR.
I'll contact clearance for our IFR clearance.
Punta Gorda ground 148 Alpha. Let's pick up IFR to Page Field at Fort Myers.
Punta Gorda ground, Allegiant 253. We'd like to collect our IFR clearance. We have hotel.
Allegiant 253, cleared to Asheville. Radar vectors Rogan, then as filed. Climb and maintain 4,000. Expect flight level 32010 minutes after departure. Departure on 127.05 squawk 5343. Expect runway 4.
Punta Gorda ground, Allegiant 253, cleared to Asheville. Radar vectors Rogan, then as filed. Climb and maintain 4,000. Expect flight level 320 10 minutes after departure. Departure frequency is 127.05. Squawk 5343. Anticipate runway 4.
Allegiant 253, read back correct.
What I just did was
Steve, boarding has started.
took the
and
frequency
first
off of
passengers
the
are
one
aboard
for the
plane.
airport I'm at. It can be confusing.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard Allegiant Air Flight 253, heading to Asheville. We kindly ask you to take your seats according to your boarding passes and stow your hand luggage in the overhead bins or under the seats in front of you. If you need any assistance, please don't hesitate
Right.
to reach out
Anti-skid is to
our friendly
RTO.
crew. Thank you for choosing Allegiant Air.
Brian, can you go ahead and get our pushback and start clearance?
I'll request pushback and start clearance.
All right, on 12.3, there's well, I'm going to see if there's something different about the weather.
Ground, Allegiant
Weather
253
radar.
requesting pushback and start clearance. We have hotel.
We'll see how different it is.
3, pushback and start approved, tail northwest.
Handle to break the seal. Remove the vest from the package like this. Put the vest on over your head.
Ground to cockpit, please show me where you want to go. Ground to cockpit, tow is driving up.
All right, we're taking off on runway 04. Actually, I pointed us the wrong way. I'm going to stop. See if I can let me. No. That's all right. I was going to stop,
all
but
doors and hatches are closed, ready to connect.
runway 04 is down this way, right over here. So I had him point me the wrong way. Let's see if I can fix that. Let's see, I'm going to go to a better pushback.
Disconnecting tow, stand by.
Let's see if it'll let me.
Can't start planner. Pushback already in progress. Please stop the pushback operation first.
Let's see if it'll go back now. So I'm going to say. He's closing the cradle. We'll see if he'll.
Tow is disconnected and bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal on the left. We'll see you next time and have fun up there.
Can't start planner. Pushback already in progress. Please stop the pushback operation first.
Guard clearance. Aerostar 455 Delta Foxtrot.
Oh, okay.
Looking to pick up my IFR clearance to Miami with information Mike.
Ground to cockpit, plan acknowledged. Call me through the menu when you are ready.
Code for my clearance to Savannah.
Alright, I think I got that fixed. Okay. So I was pointed the wrong way. I needed to be pointing the opposite direction, and honestly, it wouldn't have been that big of a deal, but if I have them point me the right way, it's just straight out that way to the runway. So I figure I'll just do it the right way. By the way, we're going out on Rogan, and that's a 020. So for our heading, we will have the heading set to 020, and we're taking off on 04. We'll leave it there. It never came. Let's try that again.
Ground to cockpit, plan acknowledged. Call me through the menu when you are ready. Ground to cockpit, tow is driving up.
Alright, I'm a little slow there, sorry. Okay, so if I understand correctly, on 12.3, what I should be seeing is colors are a little richer, maybe. Maybe cloud formations are a little better. I don't see much difference in the clouds right now. Well, maybe. Let's see.
Go to ground. Station Air 14 Quebec is general aviation parking, ready for taxi. Station Air 14 Quebec, roger.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed. Ready to connect.
14 Quebec is at general aviation parking, ready for taxi. To go to ground, are you gonna acknowledge my request? I'm at general aviation parking, ready for taxi.
Somebody's grumpy. Wait,
Tow connected and bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake. Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
Alright, let's get back in the driver's seat. Engine 2, ground. Get you on around 25. Round to have to be exact. Here. You don't want a hot start. Engine 1. Add insert fuel.
Clear to taxi.
Thank you. It's taking me around, turning me around to face the opposite way. Right, engines to buses. APU off, bleed off. Strobe to, excuse me, position to start strobe. Probes on. Yaw damper on. And we're going to put taxi light on and runway turn lights.
Operation complete. Go ahead and set the parking brake.
And engines to continuous.
Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
We're setting our flaps to 10. That'd be 1, 2, 3, 4.
I was in the air. I was like actively in. He meant to hit the right part. He was going for the right part.
And this is the first, like I said, that sounds crazy. It's the first time I've taken off with a flat set to 10. Usually it's 15 or 5, but on the 737, it's the first time I've gotten a 10.
Tow is disconnected and bypass bin has been removed. Hand signal on the right. We'll see you next time and have a safe flight.
We're going on runway 4. It's a dry runway, and our takeoff weight is 155.
I'm working on that clearance. Stand by.
Center of gravity is 28. Flaps are 10. Winds, no winds. In any case, we're all in good shape. Okay. Brian, would you get our taxi clearance, please?
I'll get our taxi clearance.
Punta Gorda ground, Allegiant 253, ready to taxi. We have hotel.
Allegiant 253, runway 4 taxi via Charlie, cross runway 15, then Alpha Delta.
Runway 04, Charlie, cross 15, then Alpha Delta. Allegiant 253.
Cabin crew, all doors in flight and cross-check. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard Allegiant Air. We are delighted to have you on this flight from Charlotte to Asheville. I'm Mario Valentini, your purser for today, and I'm joined by my wonderful crew members, Lisa, John, Sarah, and Mike. Our captain today is Steve Good, and our first officer is Brian Song. We expect our flight time to be approximately 1 hour and 20 minutes. Cruising 32,000 feet. Now, let's talk about safety, eh? Please pay close attention to the following safety demonstration. To sudden loss of cabin pressure, oxygen masks will drop down from the compartment above you. Pull the mask towards you, place it over your nose and mouth, and breathe normally. Remember to secure your own mask before assisting others. For those of you who might be swimming in the sky,
landing lights are on, runway lights are off, taxi light is on. We're going to turn the taxi light off. Seatbelts are active.
Or by blowing into the tubes. In the unlikely event of an evacuation, please leave your
Chronometers
luggage
are reset.
We want you to be safe. Not
Run.
carrying your
We're
heavy
holding
Italian
short
last
runway
day.
04 ready for departure.
There are emergency exits located at the front, middle, and rear of the aircraft. Please take a moment to locate the exit nearest you, which may be your own. Thank you for your attention, and we hope you have a pleasant flight. After we serve our meal, we'll also have some items from the Allegiant shop available for purchase. Now, let me call the captain and let him know the cabin is ready for departure.
Ron, we're ready for departure.
The cabin is ready for departure.
I'll contact tower for takeoff clearance. I'll contact tower for takeoff clearance.
Thank you.
Okay, Captain. All
we're
doors
ready to go.
embark.
Okay.
Dear passengers, we have reached our final parking position. Captain Steve Good and the cabin crew are now saying goodbye. We wish you a nice stay here in Asheville, or safe ongoing travel.
Punta Gorda Tower, Allegiant 253, holding short of runway 4, ready to depart.
Allegiant 253, Punta Gorda Tower, runway 4, winds calm. Fly runway heading cleared for takeoff.
Runway 4, winds calm. Fly runway heading cleared for takeoff. Allegiant 253.
Front pressure on yoke.
knots. V1 rotate.
Rotating. Gear up.
Allegiant 253, contact departure on 127.05.
Command A.
Switching to departure on 127.05. Allegiant 253.
Retracting flaps.
Departure, Allegiant 253. Good afternoon. Climbing through 500. Allegiant 253. Fort Myers departure. Radar contact. Climb and maintain flight level 260. Turn left heading 360. Vectors to Rogan. Then is filed. Climb and maintain flight level 260.
260.
Turn left heading 360. Vectors to Rogan. Then is filed. Allegiant 253.
Cool. Landing gear to off. And RTO to off. And we're monitoring up to 10,000. Landing lights will come off at 10,000. so far, the feel, everything that I'm feeling right now, nothing's really that different on 12.3.
Departure, request flight level 5,000, Bonanza 3 Lima Sierra. Bonanza 3 Lima Sierra, descend and maintain 5,000 feet.
Right now what we're looking for is 10,000.
Bonanza 3 Lima Sierra. Bonanza 3 Lima Sierra.
Landing lights off. Engines to continuous to off.
Dear guests, we have just climbed above the safe altitude, and I am pleased to inform you that the use of electronic devices is now allowed. Feel free to connect to our onboard Wi-Fi service. We are doing a Legion Air Flight 253 with an estimated time at travel of about 120 minutes.
Cloud cover, the texture, believability, all look really good. Look really good. Okay. I didn't hear what he said. I'm going to go back and check my log. Flight level 290. On say intentions, I can pull up like the flight log, like the talk back and forth, and correct it. And that way, sometimes if I miss something the ATC said, I don't have to have them repeat it. I can just pull it up there. Yeah, you can call it cheating. I'll take it. I like it. I really like this. This is it's a good day to watch it, but the cloud textures, yeah, much better. Wow, even for the ground level, that looks really good. Heading bug. Right, we're at what 16,000 and climbing.
Legion 253, climb and maintain flight level 320.
Okay, we're good
Climb
to
and
go.
maintain flight level 320. Allegiant 253.
So we'll go for our arrival info. So we're going to be going in at flaps 40 at 145 as it stands down. Our arrival frequency is 110.50 at 347. So 347.
Legion 253, contact Miami Center on 126.525.
Switching to Miami Center on 126.525. Allegiant 253.
That'll be for our arrival runway, and then 110.50.
Miami Center 253, good afternoon. We're at flight level 190, climbing to flight level 320.
Legion 253, Miami Center, good afternoon.
Fuel center tanks are used up because it only had like 2,500, what, 2.5, no, it didn't even have that. It had like 600 gallons. Wasn't much. Okay.
Contact Fort Myers approach on 124.125.
I didn't change that over quick enough, but we're set to STD. Usually it's at 18,000. We do that, and we've only been up in the air for 10 minutes. 10 minutes. I do see a difference in the richness of the colors, but the clouds too, they really look much better. But just the word I like to use to describe it though is believable. You want it to be quote unquote believable, and that looks much better. Okay. In terms of the radar, obviously these aren't precip clouds at the moment, I guess. But I've got weather radar on, but no real activity. Let's see. See if I can change anything or try it. No. I have it set to auto, normal. Can I test it? Now we're good. We are about 450 miles outside of Asheville.
After 987, descend and maintain 4,000. Skylink 90 Echo, contact Jacksonville Center on 125.175. 175, Skylink 90 Echo.
Something that's different on our arrival is Asheville's elevation is 2164, so 2150, and it's our landing altitude. chapter, but it's based in the colleges. Wow, those clouds look so good. All right. I'm trying to figure how different it really is. Like the textures are a little bit more saturated, so it looks like they turned up the saturation a little.
Legion 253, Miami Center. Contact Jacksonville Center on 133.325.
Switching to Jacksonville Center on 133.325. Allegiant 2.
That's all right. It's okay.
Jacksonville Center, Allegiant 253. Good afternoon. Maintaining flight level 320.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome
Jacksonville
aboard
Center,
Allegiant
Allegiant
Air
253. Good afternoon. Maintaining flight level 320.
heading to Asheville.
Legion 253, Jacksonville Center, good afternoon.
Losing altitude. And I'm excited to let you know that we will begin our snack and drink service shortly. You can look forward to some delightful options, including our famous Italian pasta salad. And a refreshing
Oh, by the way,
beverage
pasta salad on
After our
American
service,
Airlines.
we'll
Pretty
also have
amazing.
some fantastic items available from the Allegiant shop, so keep an eye out for that. Thank you for flying with us today, and we hope you enjoy the flight.
Good afternoon. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. Shodan. Thanks for hanging out. If I'm pronouncing it right, Shodan Cat. Shodan Cat. Alright, so 12.3, XPlane 12.3, what I've seen so far is the cloud textures look really good. I think what I like the most about this particular update so far, because I mean we're just starting, very subtle things that they've done. So they turned up the saturation just a little, maybe the contrast a little, to bring kind of richen up the colors just a little bit in the environment, but nothing that's so like stark or different. They're not trying to like switch the wheels all the way to the left, switch the wheel all the way to the right. They just did it little by little. So overall, it looks pretty good. I think everything looks good. Looks very natural. Now I'm in the Zibo model. I'm not sure with the weather like it is if I'll have a chance to really look at the weather as much. So weather radar is on, it's active, but I don't know. I don't have as much going on. Look outside. All right, that's a good shot where you can see a difference. Actually, that looks pretty good. Just it looks clear, but like I said, the biggest thing that I like about this particular update is, first of all, I don't see anything like that's like revolutionary. Real, you know, it's like wow. It's very subtle, very deliberate. But the texture, the colors, look good. They look good. Something else I'm noticing too. So I'm running Traffic Global, and it looks like Traffic Global's doing fine. Let's look at it. Go to radar. So I've got a lot of planes active in Traffic Global, and they all appear to be like fine. Nothing's wrong. Okay, it looks fine. And just to recap, we're not running AutoOrtho. There is no SimHeaven. This is strictly XPlane 12.3 stock or a native, so there's nothing that I've added to it for that. When I had the biggest issue with that is I had AutoOrtho and SimHeaven on 12.2. And I would still sometimes have a crash. There would be times I would. Anyway, I upgraded to the beta. So I brought in the beta, and the minute I did, I started having crashes, like trying to get into XPlane. I would try to go to a certain airport, and I admit it, I had a lot going on. So I had Nimbus Atlanta Custom Airport, Nimbus Charlotte, and I also had a DC Custom Airport. They're still on here, but I had all kinds of issues. Traffic Global was on it then also, but at first I was pointing to Traffic Global, but now that I've heard a little bit more data, I think it was actually just the beta just didn't work well with AutoOrtho, or messed up my INI file, whatever the case is, it just didn't work. So I went back, I dropped back to 12.2 and just reloaded like to 12.2 and got everything set up. But when I did, I stopped using AutoOrtho and SimHeaven, and I haven't had crashes at all. It's been very, very smooth. I still get to use Traffic Global, and now that I've went back to the beta, 12.3 beta, we're running right now the Traffic Global, and I have this is the first flight, the first time, so kind of this is the first time I've had it all on here at the same time, and it looks like I've got pretty smooth sailing so far. Looks okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are currently cruising at 32,000 feet. After our snack service, we will also have some delightful items available from the Allegiant shop, so keep an eye out for that. Hey, Captain Steve. First Officer Brian. Would you like anything to drink or a small snack? Oh, and just so you know, the coffee supply was almost gone, but I heroically saved what could be saved.
You are amazing. I will have coffee with half and half.
Thank you, Captain. I'll get that coffee with half and half right away. You know, they say coffee is like a good Italian espresso. It just makes everything better, eh?
That's right.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are currently cruising at 32,000 feet on Allegiant Air Flight 253, heading from Charlotte to Asheville. We will begin our snack service shortly, and after that, we will have some delightful items available from the Allegiant shop. Thank you for flying with us today.
All right, we've got that loaded.
Captain. I appreciate that.
Okay. Looks like we're 262 nautical miles from top of descent, so it'll be a while.
Air Flight 253, heading from Charlotte to Asheville. We will begin our snack service shortly, and after that, we will have some delightful items available. Thank you for flying with us today.
All right, so we've already got our descent information loaded along with our descent winds. So we're about 262 nautical miles from the top of descent. So we're not going to be dropping yet. I don't know, maybe drop's the wrong word to say when you're 32,000 feet above the ground. Anyway, we'll when we start to descend, we'll be our winds are loaded. I'm going to go ahead, and I'm way early to do this, but I'm setting my anti-skid to 3. I'm setting it to 3. We're on a little bit shorter of a runway. In fact, pull up the Asheville runway. So our longest runway is 8,000 feet. 8,000 feet. So we need to be a little careful. And the thing about the runway there is, it's like when you go off to the other side, it's like, you got to be careful. You got to really watch it. You don't have a whole lot of wiggle room. But 8,000 feet, that's a pretty good sized runway. It's a mile and a half, a little over a mile and a half. But should be plenty. The catch to this runway is it's also 2,150 feet in elevation. So you need to be sure to have your elevation set correctly here, because if you don't, you can have a really bad day. So it's really important to make sure your elevation's correct here. This is different on a Airbus. So 737-800 has a few more like manually adjusted things than the Airbus does. Airbus, you have does, like for instance, I never put the elevation in on an Airbus. With this, I have to manually put it in. Airbus just sets it for you and knows the elevations according to the airports. You don't have to put some other things you don't have to do on the Airbus that you have to do on the 737 is we have the course directors here both set to 347, which is the arrival runway, and when you're on the Airbus like an A321, A320, you don't put that information in. You never have to. If you don't have this information set on the 737, you will not be able to use your approach for navigation. It won't work. You have to be aligned correctly, or it will just turn in crazy ways, and you'll be scratching your head as to why it's not going the way you want it to. So that's why it's so important. Sheldon, are you on with me? What's your favorite aircraft? Which one do you like? Which one do you spend the most time on? Hey, we're 370 nautical miles outside of, and I'm getting me some coffee. All right, hang tight, guys.
Legion 253, contact Jacksonville Center on 125.375.
Switching to Jacksonville Center on 125.375. Allegiant 253. Jacksonville Center, Allegiant 253. Good afternoon, maintaining flight level 320.
right, I'm back. Sorry. Yeah, had to get my coffee. Yeah, I think Level Up's done a good job. I haven't flown one in a while because I usually just gravitate back to the Zibo, this particular Zibo model. But I have them loaded on my system. I'll do a review on one. The only complaint I ever had about the Level Up, I think, was the responsiveness was a little too good, and it took away from the realism just a little bit, but it's a very good model. Their version, what is it, the 737 Max version for Level Up, I call it, that one that you got a lot more distance on. I have been meaning to do like an international flight with that one, just take a longer trip. It's kind of hard to stream that though. I end up having to like go ahead and take off and then let it stay on cruise for a while and then come back later, so I can turn it into just like one video. Anyway, I will make it a point to put Level Ups on my list. I was going to see if we could do a flight with each one over maybe a week or two and see what everybody thinks.
United 221 altimeter setting is, let's go with 3006. Roger that, and thanks for confirming. Keep an eye on those instruments.
We are 213 miles outside of Asheville. Anybody on the feed ever been to Asheville, North Carolina? Better yet, maybe I need to ask if you've ever been to North Carolina. I don't know. It's a neat place here. North Carolina, I live in Greensboro, North Carolina, and it's a really neat place. I think I was a cop here for many years, and you got a little bit of everything. It's only 2.5 hours to the beach, or 2 hours to the mountains, and you're like up in Asheville, the mountains. You can get anything in a short distance here. Where we're landing today is the Asheville airport. It got some upgrades and kind of got kind of a facelift, especially after the storms and some of the hurricane hit Helene and did all the damage, and then they went back and began to up, because the airport had to be used so much more then, and they got it fixed up. So it's a nice looking airport. It's not big. Not big at all, but it's kind of a nice little layout they've got there. So I'm running, this is XPlane 12.3, and I think one of my contributors are on the XPlane forum, I think summarized it best when he said, if you're not running vanilla XPlane, you may experience crashes. So there's some truth to that. So I no longer am running SimHeaven, and I'm not running AutoOrtho because I did experience crashes when I did the upgrade before. So what I've done now is I went back and loaded fresh on 12.2 with no AutoOrtho, no SimHeaven. I'm running Traffic Global as an insertion, and we're running Say Intentions. But I went back to just the basics, and I'm running ABC. ABC is the camera views that you see, and if you want to try that, the ABC you can find on the XPlane forum for just search ABC camera, and you'll get it's very simple, but it automatically formats the shot. Like for instance, when I go to the cockpit, if I hit W, here's what the frame looks like. That's what the frame looks like if I just hit W. So if we hit that with ABC, when I hit 7, which I've got set up with the ABC camera, it looks like this. So bam. So you got a better frame. My plane's not broke. I just, well, I can put the yoke back. I just always take the seat out because I think it helps my views. I can view better. So we're about 176 miles outside of Asheville. We're close to top of descent. In fact, let's see how close we are. It says here we're about 86 nautical miles from top of descent. We always have to factor in, we're not actually dropping 32,000 feet when we go, but we've got a elevation in Asheville of 2,150 feet.
We're going to Atlanta Center, 124.
Jacksonville Center, American 177, flight level 390.
American 177, Jacksonville Center, good evening.
Yeah, I thought I saw an airport around here. I can't say that I can tell you which airport it is. This particular airport is. No, not sure. I'm not sure.
Allegiant 253, Jacksonville Center, contact Atlanta Center on 127.905.
Switching to Atlanta Center on 127.905, Allegiant 253.
All right, let's go.
Atlanta Center, Allegiant 253, good evening, maintaining flight level 320. Atlanta Center, Allegiant 253, good evening, maintaining flight level 320.
Allegiant 253, Atlanta Center, good evening.
You know what? Based on our approach, I think we're going to have a pretty straight-in approach to Asheville. We're coming from the south. We're heading kind of in a northerly direction now. So what I love about this is we're going straight in with no transitions. So Actually, when we descend, we'll actually descend and set up straight for to go straight in. It's not a busy airport at all, Nashville, so there's not going to be a whole lot going on in terms of traffic. We may have a few planes, sometimes some general aviation planes, but it should not be busy. It should not be terribly busy. We're 155 miles outside of Asheville, and we're close to our top of descent time. We already have set our anti-skid to 3 for arrival. Our frequency is already set, which is 110.50 for runway 35. So that's already set. We're going to go ahead and put in our fixed rings for arrival. I like doing this just because it's awareness, but if I do a RW35, tell it I want a 10-mile fixed ring, and let's get a 4.5-mile fixed ring. So now when I look at my map, spread it out. See the fixed rings right there. What is up with my oh, that was, there's a break, a discontinuity. I'll fix it right now, but no route. Let's see, that should fix that. Yeah, that would have been a problem. That would have been a problem. Okay, so now if we look, now we have 2 fixed rings as we get within the 10-mile mark, and it just gives us some awareness at about the 10-mile ring is when we drop gear. Sometimes between 8 and 10, but I like dropping them just a little bit early. We'll see how our descent goes in terms of needing any air brakes, but it looks like here we got a little bit of crosswind at the present moment. We'll see if that maintains. That should drop as we get lower. Let's see. Yes. No, it should. It should. By the time we get down to 10,000, we're at about a 14 knot winds coming from 336, which is, yeah, it should be okay. It's not really hitting us on the side, kind of at an angle. We'll lose some of our like our lift with that, but it's not bad. Okay, let's see. So we're going to add 5 on VREF for arrival at full flaps. So we'll be around 145-ish, between 145 and 150, and then we'll be in reversers hard and auto brakes or anti-skid brakes. once again, I am not sure what airport this is. I could look it up right at it. It says it's the Thompson McDuffie. It's KHQU, Thompson McDuffie County Airport.
Allegiant 253, Atlanta Center. When you're ready, descend and maintain flight level 240.
Descending and maintaining flight level 240. Allegiant 253.
Descend via Jedi 3 into Atlanta.
Well, we got descent via Jedi 3 into Atlanta for Delta 1208.
Delta 1208, speed 280 knots.
Speed 280 for Delta 1208.
On our descent, seatbelt signs, pushback, buffer arrival, after up and about, please return your seats faster, We have seatbelt. left our cruising altitude and have started our approach to Asheville. At this time, we kindly ask everyone to return to your seats. Place your seatbelt. Thank you for your cooperation as we prepare for landing.
Allegiant 253, descend and maintain 16,000.
Descend and maintain 16,000. Allegiant 253.
Alright, so we'll be stepped down, I think, in altitude, so we're already down to where it's giving us 16,000, but our approach altitude will be around 5,000, 050. We're 101 miles outside of Asheville. And our checklist was, so our anti-skid's already set for 3 for approach. I'm not setting our speed brake yet because I don't know if I may need it. So we're not going to set that, but our frequency, our nav frequency is already set for 110.50 for approach, and we're good. Here you have approach ref page, radio barometer. Let's check that. That's what we got checklist for.
Center, Kepler 104, ready to descend via Bank R5 now.
3016. Okay, 3016 is our QNH. We're good to go there. Nav radio is set. Radio and baro minimums are set. Auto brake as needed is set. So we're good. Slow and steady. I could not have planned that better, so I got to take off on runway 04. Puts me in the right direction, and then I'm coming in on runway 35, which lines me up on a runway like I'd like. So we're good. Right. Clouds look great. Those clouds. clouds actually do look really good. That actually, the texture, different kinds of cirrus, cumulonimbus, all the different kinds of clouds, but they really have that believable quality to them. It's good. I would really rather go through that little spot in the cloud right there where there's no cloud. I don't think that's going to happen though. All right, we're see where we are, how far out we are. 60 miles. We're only 60 miles outside of Asheville. We'll be coming in kind of a straight shot. There's no transitions. There's no via. Right now we're going to be coming straight in. As soon as we get through these clouds. Our current altitude is 200. Bring it back. You see, we've got 2 fixed rings there for when we get a little bit closer. I'm going to go ahead and knock it back on. Have we gotten any, did I miss an ATC call about our altitude? No, I haven't. I haven't got it yet. I should be hearing from ATC in just a moment. They'll knock us down to like 050 or 040. And we just hit the 50-mile mark. We're under 50 miles. I'd be curious, anybody watching this ever been to Asheville, North Carolina? Or for that matter, North Carolina? Drop me a comment if you have. I'd like to know if you haven't. All right, ATC did not give us the call about 160, and so we're continuing to descend.
Legion 253, contact Asheville approach on 125.8.
Switching to Asheville approach on 125.8, Allegiant 253. Asheville approach, Allegiant 253. Evening, descending to 15,000.
Allegiant 253, Asheville approach, good evening. Asheville, altimeter 3014. Expect the ILS runway 35 approach into Asheville.
Altimeter 3014, expecting ILS runway 35 approach into Asheville. Allegiant 253.
We're going to go ahead and we're going to continue our descent. So
Allegiant
we're going to turn
253,
on the
descend and maintain 6100, turn left, heading 330 vectors for the ILS runway 35 approach.
Descend and maintain 6100. Left heading 330 for vectors to the ILS runway 35 approach. Allegiant 253.
So they want us to go to 610 at heading 330. Okay, all right. I don't know what's wrong with what I'm doing now. All right, there we go, 330. I'm not taking it off 5,000. Not doing it. I'm a ways from it anyway. Okay, so landing lights are active. Ground spoiler is armed. Anti-skid is on 3. And frequency is set for 110.50, 110.50. And our course directors are both set to 347, which is our approach on, so the course directors for both my side and my pilot monitoring side, so we're good to go. Checklist complete. You see in our map here, our fixed rings put us right here. I guess we should be cutting over.
Allegiant 253, proceed direct new route. Descend and maintain 5100 until established on the localizer. Cleared for the ILS runway 35 approach.
Alright, we're set for new route. We're in good shape there.
New route. Descend and maintain 5100 until established on the localizer. Cleared for the ILS runway 35 approach. Allegiant 253.
Allegiant 253, speed 250 knots.
I think we're there. Don't worry. Be
Captain,
fine.
cabin is ready. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now on our final approach into Asheville. At this time, we kindly ask you to turn off your electronic devices and stow them until we arrive at the gate. Please put your tray tables away, ensure your seats are in the full upright position, and fasten your seatbelts. We will be arriving at Terminal 1, Gate 6. Thank you for your cooperation.
I mean, he's supposed to be funny, but I think he's a pretty good flight attendant. He's supposed to kind of be comical. Not far out, by the way. We're 21 nautical miles outside of Asheville. Coming in on 3-5. We will have our I think our go around is 3,000 for this, just in case, because and once we hit the runway, if we don't hit the runway right when we should, you don't have any room on the other side. The runway's 8,000 feet in length, so we should be okay. 1000 right now, 070. We're not quite on final. When we hit Nauru, that will be our final approach.
Asheville departure 75370, climbing 3,200.
You'll know we're at Nauru because you'll see us light turn to the left when we get there. Flaps are currently at 10. Flaps are at 1515. Have it like about a 20-30 degree turn to the left up here coming up. I'm gonna go ahead and start our approach navigation here. And we're 13 miles outside. We're at flaps 40, and thank you Jesus for ILS, because I can't see the runway right now. Okay. Landing gear is
Allegiant
down.
253, contact Asheville Tower on 121.1.
Switching to Asheville Tower on 121.1. Allegiant 253. Asheville Tower, Allegiant 253. Good evening. We're established on the ILS approach for runway 35.
And localizers captured.
Allegiant 253, Asheville Tower, roger. Continue approach runway 35.
There's that slight little bit turn. Now we're on final. Anybody seen a runway around here? Look at that. All right, we got eyes on the runway. Anti-skid 3, localizer captured, flaps full, VREF is
Allegiant 253, Asheville Tower, winds 350 at 4, runway 35, cleared to land.
2500. Runway 35, cleared to land. Allegiant 253.
I am using a little bit of auto land to help, just to kind of assist me, but I'll take the throttle back at 1,000 feet. See, we're in the fixed rings right here. And this is some stable approach. Full flaps. I remember the first few times I came into Asheville and I had just started flying. I am more of an enthusiast. I've been studying and studying and working with the 737s for
1,000 feet stabilized.
30 years. I love the plane, but it was a new experience coming into Asheville. And yeah, it was rough for a while. When I finally figured out everything, I was good, but it's just rough because it sets about 2,150 feet is your elevation here. You're in the mountains, and there's just no wiggle room. There's no room for error or margin of error. The runway sits on kind of like you're on a high plane with each side dropping off. So it's an interesting runway. You see the 500 the way it's formed, shape. You got to be careful not to come in too hard on it, or you can really like pop your landing gear really hard. So we'll see how this goes. Right. My throttle.
300. 200. 100.
Keep some of that speed going. Here, let's flare
50,
a little bit.
40, 30, 20, 10.
Right, reversers and autopilot's off.
Allegiant 253, welcome to Asheville. Contact ground on 121.9er.
Switching to ground on 121.9er. Allegiant 253.
400. Flaps retracted. And ground spoiler off.
Asheville ground, Allegiant 253, evening. We're clear of runway 35 and ready to taxi to the gate.
Ladies and gentlemen, Asheville ground, taxi to Terminal 1 Gate 6 via Alpha 5 Alpha Delta. Have a good day.
Terminal 1 Gate 6 via Alpha 5 Alpha Delta. Allegiant 253.
It's also home to the famous Biltmore Estate, the largest privately owned home in the United States. Thank you for flying with Allegiant Air today. Please remain seated until we reach the final parking position. On behalf of Captain Steve, First Officer Brian Song, and the entire crew, we wish you a wonderful stay in Asheville. The local time is 5:15 p.m. If you have a connecting flight, please note the following.
We're going to park at the gate, and then I'm going to look at a replay.
Departing at 6:15 p.m. from Gate 2 and flight 456 to Orlando. Departing at 6:30 p.m. from Gate 3.
And see those mountain peaks? I think they model it fairly good, but man, you got to see it to believe it. It's just amazing here. It's a beautiful place. Beautiful.
Cessna 53070 is mid-ramp with information Yankee. We are requesting a VFR flight following to Hickory Regional Airport. We're going to be flying 5,500. We are standing by for our clearance. I didn't catch all that. Can you say that again? Cessna 53070.
Alright, as soon as you're parked, when I park here, I always go straight for the ground services and chocks. And go ahead and kick on the GPU. Okay, we both know in real life it wouldn't happen this quick, but that's what I do. And then I bring down the fuel. I would normally turn all the lights off, but because we're going to do a replay, I'm just going to leave things like they are. Let's toggle replay mode, get outside, and let's go back. Okay. I'm not super proud of that landing, but I think a little bit hard, but I did get the front end nose raised. A little bit of a bounce, yeah.
Bravo 661, cleared up runway.
Bravo, November, Juliet, Lima 661, Asheville Tower. Roger, taxi departure via Alpha Station
3. It wasn't super hard. It wasn't like a pounding landing, but it's still like they could have. I think if I would have come back, I was at about 149 knots, and I think I could have come back on the throttle a little bit more at the time as I descended, and I think I could have taken off some of that last minute pressure, because you're landing on a runway that's going up, and so that's one thing I would have done different on that landing. I hope everybody has a good day. Thanks for just popping in. If you just popped in for a few minutes. Always say try to learn something, because I always do. All right? Talk to you later.